Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to our webinar for today. I'm so excited to see those names joining here, some that I recognize, some that are new to me. But today's webinar is all about Nuvei and payment processing within this industry. Specifically the integration that we've had, the partnership, and how the Nuvei integration really is better with ByDesign. We are recording this webinar, and we will share the presentation with attendees who have registered afterwards. So if there's anything on the screens that you guys see as we go through, don't worry. We will be sending those out to you afterward, as long as you have registered. So with me today, I've got, first of all, what are we going to be covering? Quite a bit. We have a big full agenda for today. But as I said, really talking about the partnership itself, ByDesign and Nuvei, talk about some trends within the direct selling industry, what we're seeing with mobile shopping, and some international payment and localization. So a very full agenda. We're very excited. And with me today, I've got my two partners on the Nuvei side, Scott and Marlin. I do want to pause for a moment. I know a lot of our clients know who I am, but in case you don't, my name is Cassie Lewis. I'm the Director of Client Growth here at ByDesign. I've got just over 15 years in the direct selling industry of experience, 5 of that at ByDesign. And my role here is just to make sure that clients have the right tools for every stage of their business. So I will let Scott and Marlin introduce themselves as well, so you know who you're working with on the Nuvei side.
Hey there, I am Scott Fitzpatrick, and in case you're wondering, that is a rather dated photo of me, so if you don't think it's two separate people, that is just actually a photo taken when I started in the direct selling industry, which I've been doing so for about 21 years now. So in my entire career at Nuvei, I've been dedicated to direct selling, solving problems for direct sellers and helping them succeed. Marlin?
Thanks, Scott. Marlin Gilbert, AVP Global Enterprise Sales. Lots of experience with payments, with Nuvei for several years, in addition to previously with Adyen and SIF Science. And really excited to be involved with our webinar today and really enjoy our interactions with our direct selling merchants worldwide.
Awesome. Before I jump into the partnership, I do want to let everybody know we have muted the call so that we can get through the content and have a clean recording here. But all of you will have the opportunity to ask any questions using the Q&A feature. So depending on what browser you have and your computer setup, it's probably going to be at the bottom of your screen. It might be at the top, but there is a Q&A menu item. If you click on that, that will give you the opportunity to type in any questions that you have. You can do that as we go throughout the presentation, and there will also be some time at the end. So don't hesitate to ask your questions. I just ask that you type them in using that Q&A feature. All right, so to start with, why is that Nuvei integration better with ByDesign? And really, why did we choose Nuvei as our preferred payments processor? Well, whenever we're looking for a partner, we know that our clients trust us. And if we say that this partner is a good partner, you're going to take our word on that. So before we enter into any partnership, we need to make sure that, first of all, our partners are good at what they say they're going to do, right? Nuvei is a payments processing fintech company. And so we look for proven success, and they have that. You're going to see a little bit of that throughout the presentation today, but they've been doing this for more than 20 years. Okay, so that means that, you know, they have that proven success, and they are evolving. They're keeping up with the modern trends, and they've had to keep up with those in order to stick around for more than 20 years. Also, a knowledge of the industry. This is one that I'm very passionate about because I love our industry, and payment processing solutions for traditional retail or e-commerce aren't always the best for this industry. And by that, I mean that there are certain nuances and certain features that are necessary for this industry that aren't necessarily required out in the rest of the world. And what's great is that this team at Nuvei, they have obviously a very large organization that handles traditional retail as well, but they've got a team that's focused and dedicated to direct selling, and that's who you've got with you here today. This team has experience in onboarding direct sellers, MLMs, party plans, all of those that are working in this space. So they've seen the various types of compensation plans and reward levels. They understand the nuance that is required for this industry. They can also advise based on what they've seen through their 20 years of experience. So their knowledge of the industry, in my opinion, far surpasses what you would find with a payment processor off the street that is more focused on traditional retail or e-commerce. The active collaboration. Obviously, this webinar is one example of that. Scott, Marlin, and I speak on a weekly basis. We're constantly talking about trends in the industry, listening to client feedback, working on the next phase of our integration, or talking about some of the feedback from existing work we've already done. What do we need to modify it to continue to make it the best that it can be? That active collaboration is so important because that's going to yield a better product for you and for every other client that's using both of our services. And then finally, dedication to supporting clients. I would never want to recommend any of our clients to a partner who doesn't have the same customer focus that we have here at ByDesign. And in fact, with Nuvei, each client that comes on board, each ByDesign client gets a dedicated account manager to help them in the onboarding, launch process, and for the lifetime of working with Nuvei. So that means if you ever have questions about anything you're seeing on the payment side, you've got that dedicated contact on the Nuvei team who can help you to navigate that. That's very important to the long-term success for any integration, especially one that is so pivotal to your business as payments are. So now that you know a little bit about why we chose Nuvei and what it was that appealed to us about them, I want to talk about what the partnership means to you, because there are benefits to you as the clients. First and foremost, turnkey activation. What this means is that once you get through the underwriting process with Nuvei and you've got that approval, we already have the integration ready to go. We get your credential key from Nuvei, and then we can turn on that integration for you with very short turnaround. There is no custom development that's needed. It's all already done. The integration is already in place, and we can get you up and running very quickly. Competitive rates and potential cost savings. Because of the relationship that we have with Nuvei, they are able to offer pricing to our clients that are lower than what you would typically see in the payments industry. If you're curious, get a quote. It never hurts to find out what Nuvei can do for you. I have seen across the board that they've been able to offer cost savings time and time again to our customers, to our clients. So it never hurts to reach out and find out, if cost savings may be part of the play with this payments integration. No cost support for reported issues. Whether that is reported to ByDesign or reported through Nuvei, we work together to make sure that we get it resolved. And of course, we're not going to bill you for that because of that relationship and that partnership that we have. So it's not going to count against your support time that you get each month. And you'll never see a bill for any Nuvei support tickets. And then similarly, you're also not going to see any charges for the ongoing advancement of the integration. One thing that I love about this team at Nuvei is that they listen to feedback. They listen to clients and they ask for that feedback. And as we continue to update that integration, all of our mutual clients can benefit from that update at no additional cost, whether it's coming from client feedback or based on what the Nuvei team is seeing in the industry. They're constantly evolving the tools and the features that they offer, and we're adding those new features and those updates to the integration on the ByDesign side. And as a mutual client of the two of us, you will be able to take advantage of those updates to that integration. All right, so now you know a little bit more about the integration itself. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Marlin to look at Nuvei and some of the areas in which they're operating.
Thanks, Cassie. That was a great overview of ByDesign and Nuvei. Really appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about Nuvei specifically. Nuvei is a global payment processor with capabilities around the globe. As Scott has mentioned, we've been in business for over 20 years. And during that process, we've built out our platform. We've acquired a number of companies so that we have this footprint that's really exciting, I think, for direct selling merchants that are interested in international expansion. We're in over 200 global markets. We have local acquiring in 47 markets, the key markets that there's growth and significant transaction volume. Our support for alternative payment methods is expansive with over 600, and that provides a level of flexibility to the consumers within your value chain that your independent distributors are working with. And currency support is also fantastic with over 150 currencies supported worldwide. So we've got a team of people in offices throughout the world. We have a depth of experience working in the direct selling industry. We specialize in direct selling merchants that want to expand internationally, and we deliver with our relationships across the board with MasterCard, Visa, all other significant payment methods to deliver solutions that make sense, both on the consumer side as well as the independent distributor side, to give you solutions for your growth as you seek to expand within your business geographies. So that's an overview snapshot of Nuvei.
Okay, Marlin, and we do have a question. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, sorry about that. The question is, where are the high growth market areas for direct sellers at this time? What are you seeing in the industry?
So there's really two-part answer to the question, Scott. The high growth areas are really Mexico and APAC. That's where we're seeing the highest percentage growth in terms of transaction volume. Europe, though, remains the mainstay of international aggregate business. That is to say, although the growth rates in Europe are not as high as Mexico and APAC, the amount of transaction volume in Europe is still quite strong. And that maps well to our capabilities at Nuvei. We are particularly strong in Europe and have significant coverage throughout, but we continue to grow and expand in our investments in Mexico and our investments in APAC. In fact, we just shifted a whole group of our executive team from London to Singapore to really build out our APAC presence, and that's succeeding in terms of our local acquiring licenses as well as business wins that we're seeing throughout the APAC region.
If there's any other questions, don't hesitate to enter them into the Q&A. And if it's pertinent to what we're discussing at the time, we'll cover it right away. If not, we'll save it to the end of the presentation. So, direct selling industry and Nuvei, they've gone hand in hand for 20 years. Part of what we've really made it our business to do is to really understand the business of our clients in direct selling, to understand the various nuances and what it takes to succeed. And it's not simply getting a merchant account and selling as much as possible. It's really about having the products and features and leadership and communication to do so and stay out of trouble with the banks and the associations and the card brands. So we've got the experience, we've had the communication, and we've listened to our clients about what they want. And what they really do want is a seamless, expansive pay-in and pay-out system under one roof. Cassie alluded to it earlier, that's one of the reasons we were chosen, and it's something we really believe in. And communicating with a company like ByDesign gives us so much more insight on what development needs to happen. We also have a very, very sophisticated dashboard that covers all of our regions very well. It is something that is uniform throughout the entire customer experience. So whether you're from Australia, North America, Europe, the experience will be the same. And that's very important because you're not having to learn new systems and have different logouts. It's the same across the board. So here, if you would like to download the ebook that was written, it goes into a little bit more detail of what we're covering today. We couldn't possibly cover this whole ebook in one short webinar. But if you'd like to download it, just simply scan that QR code and you'll get the entire ebook at your disposal.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about trends within the industry. I know this is something that you all as attendees are very interested in. It helps you with your planning your business activities and where to prioritize what you want to focus on. So we're going to talk about a couple significant trends in the direct selling industry: changes in technology and consumer behavior, how the interaction with customers and distributors are changing, and how changes in payment trends are central to all of this activity. You know, we can see in terms of direct selling market size, it continues to grow. The growth rate is sustained yet moderate. So the key opportunity for direct selling merchants such as yourself is, what are the pockets of accelerated growth, and how do I assemble my capabilities to maximize that potential growth? And so we're really excited to share with you today a couple of tidbits of insight, market trends that can help as you plan your business activities through 2023, 2024, and beyond. And so let's move on to the next slide. So one significant trend is the changes underway in social commerce and mobile shopping. Social commerce sales projected to reach 80 billion by 2028. We're seeing more and more smartphone users prefer to pay with mobile as their primary payment option. And that preference ripples through into the world of direct selling, where we'll see more and more consumers viewing smartphones as the primary conduit, and being able to work with a payment processor that's mobile capable is critical to being able to handle those types of dynamics. And we can see in terms of, you know, respondents that are discovered products on the platform, it's across all the different social media channels. Again, whether it's social media, smartphones, that combination, social commerce and mobile shopping, is continuing to grow. It's continuing to expand. And it's really critical as a direct selling merchant that you be well positioned to be able to take advantage of that trend. I'll turn it back over to Scott.
All right, real quick though, Marlin, sorry, we have another question. Where are the mobile payments headed in the next few years?
Well, I think what we're seeing, you know, the statistic is 32% of mobile users are using their smartphone as a primary payment device. I wouldn't be surprised over the next couple of years to see that jump up to 50% or higher. It's just becoming so convenient. It's the phone's with you all the time. It's your primary conduit portal to the world of commerce. So I think that we're going to see that become more and more dominant in terms of a primary payment method. And again, it's incumbent upon payment processors like Nuvei to be all over this as a trend. And that's where we're investing a lot of energy and technology capability.
Perfect. Great answer. Thanks.
So the trend number two I want to discuss is payout flexibility. And one of the things that direct selling has had in common with payments since I've been working with Nuvei is the common thing is that there's nothing common. It is constantly in flux, constantly changing, and keeping up with those changes has been kind of our raison d'etre. So from people, what the traditional direct selling method of going to people's homes and having parties are now being done via Zoom calls, or they're being done via Facebook calls, or they have influencer models. And all of these changes have really changed how people want to be paid. So people want to, if the gig economy, people want to be paid in their preferred method, and they want to be paid right away. So between ByDesign and Nuvei, we've been talking to our direct selling clients to really figure out how is it most advantageous to pay your distributor force? There was a time when writing checks was a thing, and it's hard to believe that that still goes on sometimes today, but that was a common method. It's really kind of fading away. And then there was a time of getting e-wallets and having massive expenses to be paid and having cards, and that's kind of fading away now as well. So what we're doing with ByDesign is really developing a payout system that leverages all our capabilities, but also will be integrated directly to the ByDesign framework, so that people can choose how they want to be paid, when they want to be paid, and the speed they want to be paid at. So from everything from direct deposit, instant direct deposit into bank accounts, to Visa and MasterCard direct to your credit card, or even stored value cards. There's a multitude of ways in which people want to be paid, but really the crux of it is that we want to be able to allow companies to pay their distributors as quickly as possible and as cost effectively as possible, so that they can talk to others about how quickly they've been paid and bring on more people into your organizations, because people want to be paid right away.
Excellent.
All right.
Thanks.
So sorry, we did have one more question on the payouts. Just asking whether the payout functionality is currently available in the integration with ByDesign.
Good question. And no, it is not currently available. It is something that we have been working on. This integration has been going on for 2 years, and I don't see an integration ever really ending because, like I said, nothing ever stops changing. I am told that Q1 is our target date to have the integrated payout system available that will combine our technology and ByDesign's technology into the back office. So Q1 is our target date, and more to follow, I guess, with as that draws closer. But it is coming soon.
Awesome.
All right. Well, trend number 3, what we're saying is international payments and localization. So the world is becoming smaller and smaller in terms of the demands of consumers to have local payment methods and feel like what they're being able to interact with is familiar to them and accessible. And it's key for direct selling merchants in partnership with payment processing companies to deliver capabilities that are frictionless and accessible for consumers. And that's what we've done at Nuvei. We've been able to deliver a global payment platform that has the types of payment support that are relevant in given markets, as well as having local acquiring in over 47 countries. So really providing significant coverage. What we find is, the top 50 US-based direct selling merchants operate an average of 33 countries. That means that all of these companies are really global enterprises, and being able to partner with a payment platform that has this type of global capability is absolutely critical. The other key point, I think, is when, as a direct selling merchant, you're in a variety of geographies and you want to expand into a new geography. That is quite a significant challenge, or can be, and being able to partner with an experienced payment processor like Nuvei really helps in terms of getting the building blocks in place to enable this type of payment capabilities. It looks like we may have a couple of additional questions. So in terms of the difference between cross-border and local payments. So local payments, you're going to be accepting the payment in the local currency. Cross-border is a means by which there'll be some sort of translation mechanism to take the local currency and translate it into another relevant currency for the merchant. So the local payments have the advantage, particularly if you're able to recycle funds. So you take incoming funds from consumers and then recycle them back through your cost structure or distribution channel. Cross-border, you incur various foreign exchange or processing charges, but you have the advantage of being able to get the funds in the currency associated with your primary headquarters group. So that's a snapshot overview in terms of cross-border and local payments. Any other questions before I turn it over to Cassie? Okay. Well, Cassie, I'll turn it over to you for summary and any follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely. I am seeing a little bit of chatter just about the current integration for ByDesign clients and what the mutual benefits are there. So just wanted to really briefly talk a little bit about what is currently available. So if you are not currently using Nuvei and you're curious about the advantages there, obviously there are tons, but what you can expect from Nuvei is the ability to, at checkout in your cart, to be able to accept not only all of the major credit card payments, but also bank draft payments, Google Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal, SEPA, any of those 600 different APMs that are available out there. Obviously, I named the most common ones and the ones that we currently have clients using, but those are what we call APMs. And so the checkout experience allows your customer to choose how they want to pay. Do I want to use a credit card? Do I want to use my PayPal, Apple Pay, all these different items? So that is the primary benefit and integration there. But we've also taken that same integration and just recently applied it to our enrollment process as well. So as people are joining your organization as representatives, they will have those same payment options of being able to pay directly from their phone, using credit card, APMs, bank draft, any of those options as well. So we've covered those two main points. And then, of course, the integration is also reflected in your Freedom back office. So you will have visibility to not only when somebody's using the Nuvei payments to pay, but we've also just added a new report that shows you specifically which APM, how many are using Apple Pay, how many are using PayPal. So this is going to give you great insights into your customer behavior, help you to make the right decisions as far as offering additional ones and those sorts of things. So that's the current integration. When I say turnkey, that's what you're getting out of the box. Of course, if you're looking for any other payment types, those are all things that we can turn on. It's a very simple process. There's a little bit of testing involved just to make sure it's going well, but we find that those can typically be turned in less than a week. We can turn around and turn those on. So very streamlined, very quick, and really great advantage to your customers that are shopping in your cart and also those that are joining your organization.
It looks like we have a couple more questions that came in. Scott, maybe you can tell the group how can alternative payments help their business, and what are the relevant ATMs within the United States?
Sure, 2 for 1. Okay, so in North America, people are used to using credit cards. Alternative payments are relatively new. So I'll start with the US relevant. Right now, it's really what we're really seeing a lot of adoption is Apple Pay and Google Pay. This actually lends to something Marlin said earlier, that people more and more often are using their mobile devices, and to purchase something using a mobile device with Apple Pay, it's a matter of authenticating yourself and clicking a button. It's still running on the credit card rails, but what this is doing is making a more secure transaction and a quicker transaction with all around better customer experience. So in North America, we're seeing primarily Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal being the front runners for alternative payments. When you leave North America, it's a fact that people will abandon the cart if they do not see their preferred payment type 50% of the time. So that literally means if they're presented with Visa and MasterCard and they choose to pay with Cap Bancaire because they're out of France, or with SEPA because they're out of Germany, or Ideal because they're out of the Netherlands, if they don't see their payment option, that's the end of that sale. By offering these alternative payment methods, you are going to see more conversions and you're going to see a higher approval ratio. I hope that satisfies your question. Please let me know if it does not.
That was a great answer. Thank you. Back to Cassie.
All right. I think we've covered most of the questions here. So, there's one more, just a little bit about the integration process. And I think I hit on this a little bit earlier, but essentially, if you're interested in coming on board and leveraging Nuvei with your business, there is an underwriting process, as is the case with any payment provider. We have worked to streamline that as much as we can, but we also ask, or Nuvei asks a lot of questions about how you're leveraging the payments in your business. And this is so that they can leverage that direct selling experience to help you get the right tools, the best prices, etc. So as you come on, you're going to see some of those questions come in the very beginning, but it's in your best benefit and to your advantage to really answer those, because that's where their knowledge of this industry and payments is going to benefit you. They want to get to know you. They want to understand what your products are, how you're selling them, what does your comp plan look like, because all of those factors come into play, and they're going to set you up with the best package possible. So once you get through that underwriting process, like I said, we get the credentials from Nuvei, and then we can turn you on for that payment processing, really with the flip of a button. It's a setting in your Freedom back office. Obviously, we'll want to test a little bit first, but by the time we get those credentials, we can turn it on within a day or two. It just depends on your strategy as far as communicating with the field, letting them know that that experience is going to look a little different. But it's really painless and easy once you get that approval to get it turned on and start it working. Even if one of the APMs or alternative payment methods that you want to use isn't already activated, we can get you up and running with credit cards and the existing APMs. Get that going first, then we can follow up with those additional APMs at a later date. As Scott has said multiple times, you know, the integration is never done. It's constantly evolving, and that includes your use of the payments as well. You will find over time that you may want to add some payment methods, take back some payment methods, and it's really a very simple and seamless thing to be able to turn those on and off throughout your business. And as I said at the beginning, each person, each client does get that dedicated Nuvei account manager. And I can't stress enough how important that is and how great that is that Nuvei is putting the resources to help support the ByDesign clients in the way that they are.
I just wanted to add a little bit to that, Cassie. I think that we communicate between Nuvei and ByDesign seamlessly, and there's constant flows of communication. It's important also that the ByDesign clientele communicate directly with us if they have any questions concerning payments, what's changing, where they might see problems, where they might be going, because we don't really want to solve problems after they happen. We want to get in front of problems and help you avoid common pitfalls and new trends. And there's trends in fraud that change, trends in chargebacks that change, banking regulations that change. And it's really through communications that we can let you know how to stay compliant, how to stay ahead of the curve, and how to really stay out of trouble with the association. So that communication shouldn't just be happening between our companies, but it should be happening between all of the companies involved.
Love it. Yes, I'm a big proponent of communication, so thank you for that. All right. Well, I think we've answered the questions that we have received. So thank you all so much for joining us on this call. Thank you to Scott and Marlin for all of the trends and tips that were shared. If you have questions after you leave this webinar, as you're talking among your core group at your organization, or for anybody that might be watching the recording, any questions that you have can be directed either to the ByDesign team or to the Nuvei team. Either one of us would be happy to answer any of your questions and get you started in the process. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. And again, thank you so much for your time and the opportunity.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.